Betting stuff.
Ciao. Even though I did not have a very ciao week in my best bets.
While Alex may not have had a ka-chow type of week in the best bets, 100% Alex had a ka-chow type of week for the fourth week in a row in the road to 272.
It's true.
Okay, good. That is true. This is Sports Stuff Betting Stuff, the number one sports betting podcast coming out of the Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff Enterprise. I am your host in the original Generate, coming straight from a day of golf in Deep Creek, Maryland. I am Muff.
Hello, Muff. Good to see you.
Hey, Muff.
Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Joined alongside the Ohio Homer, the Ohio Degenerate, and the capo of Midwest Crack House, Jim.
Hello. Hello.
Also, another part of the original Degenerate crew, our resident medical degenerate, Alex.
That's me.
That is Alex. And last and certainly not least, he's just another degenerate from Cleveland, Nemi.
Just here to support Jim and celebrate our Ohio State Buckeyes victory last week.
Yes, sir.
Well, glad we can celebrate that for all of you. As a reminder to everybody...
Hey, do you guys get to celebrate your team's victories this week?
Jim, I just want you to know that karma is a little biatch, and there was a team last year that also lost to Oregon early in the season and may have
I've been waiting on this.
gone to a national championship run, so let us not forget history.
Penn State cost me some money this weekend, I'll tell you that. So
That's the way the ball bounces, Nemi. You put the money up, sometimes the money don't come back.
put my money in your team, Muff. They let me down.
You put your money in the team.
Whoa. There's only one.
Team.
There's only one V.
Okay, first and foremost, Nemi, you need to get something very straight here. There's only one stadium of these two that says the Pennsylvania State University, and that has predated the Ohio State University
You
bullshit.
have to earn the.
And you won't be earning it with Drew Aller, I don't think. But we can talk about that later.
All right, moving on. As a reminder, our exclusive betting app is FanDuel.
FanDuel. Wow.
Sponsor us.
FanDuel.
The gimmick is starting to fade here.
FanDuel.
FanDuel.
The FanDuel gimmick?
FanDuel gimmick. All right, everybody. This week, as always, we will go over our best bets, our specialty picks, Survivor update. Are there still two? And Muff and Alex will go on a road to 272.
Choo-choo.
Packaged around discussion about the NFL and college football slate for the week. Before we get into that, let's remind everybody about our totems. Our totems are items of good luck. This week, let's start with Alex.
My item of good luck remains my green flag for victory. Woo! Green for cash, green for wins.
All right, Jim.
The Ohio State hat with the state of Ohio flag on the bill.
Nemi.
Still gonna go with the first place softball trophy. We're gonna keep riding the hot hand, hopefully.
All right, and mine, as it has been all season, is any Masters apparel that I acquired last spring, and it continues to be the cap, which I also wore for my golf round today. Was a good day to be a golfer.
There you go.
There you go.
Without any further ado, let's get into last week's best bets, starting with Nemi.
My guy.
Finally back. Felt good to be back. I went 4-1 on the week. Starting NFL, Jaguars plus 3.5. Lost the Ravens minus 2.5. The Chiefs beat them up pretty good, and Lamar seems to be out for a couple weeks now. 3-0 in college. Arizona State minus the 2.5 was probably a little bit of a lucky cover on Friday night. Ole Miss minus 1.5. They were up most of that game. Pretty good pick there. and the over in the Rutgers-Minnesota game of 51.5, bringing it to 15-13 on the year and a 536 win percentage.
All right, next. He was 4-4 last week. Jim.
So in the NFL, the Chargers -6.5 was a loss to the Giants. I did hit the Eagles -3.5 against the Buccaneers. The Patriots -5.5, making a comeback for me against the Panthers. Then the college ball kind of beat my ass. TCU +2.5, loss at Arizona State. Florida State -6.5, loss. Boston College and fuckers lost 6.5. But my wins, South Carolina, SEC champions, -6.5 at Kentucky, got that. And then Oregon hit. We all know who they beat. I don't need to rub it in anymore. 4-4.
All right, next. I went 3-5 for the week, bringing my overall record to 18-19 for the season for a 486 win percentage. My wins were Virginia +6.5 on Friday night college football against Florida State. The Patriots cover 5.5, hosting the Panthers, and the Bears plus the points 1.5, traveling to Vegas, offset by my losses of Baylor not covering against Oklahoma State, Georgia losing outright to Bama. I had Georgia covering 2.5. The Bills did not cover the 16.5 versus the Saints. The Chargers did not cover 6.5 versus the Giants. And the Colts Rams did not go over 48.5. 3-5 this week, 18-19 overall. And did not see this one coming, but Alex was the worst of the bunch this week.
Yeah, I took a major hit this week. I only won one. I was 1-5. I did win Thursday night football, Seahawks -1.5 at the Cardinals. After that, I lost to Muff. I lost to Florida State -6.5 of Virginia, which we watched together, which was kind of fun. LSU +1.5 at Ole Miss lost. BYU -6.5 at Colorado lost. Colorado did lose, I would like to mention. However, they did not cover. Chargers -6.5 the Giants lost, and the Colts +3.5 the Rams lost. So rough week, puts me at 17-12 overall. Got to right the ship this week. Still at a 586 winning percentage.
Alex, weren't you not on the show? You were not on the show last week, right?
I was not. No.
That's the bad juju then. So this week
was.
you're gonna bounce back now.
I know. I was meeting my nephew, which was awesome. Theo
Sweet.
is a light in our lives. So sorry I was out, but I'm back.
Light in your life, but the darkness to your betting.
Yeah. He's gonna have to get it together when he gets older. We're gonna have to have visits on not betting nights.
That's the one. All right, next into our specialty picks, starting with the Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week.
Pow, 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 pow.
Ooh, Alex is back. The voice has recovered fully, I believe.
Yeah, it really has.
All right, we get all the sound effects from Alex. Takes a week off, meets the little one, loses some bets, but comes back with vengeance. Unfortunately, the Allstott pick did not hit this week. We took the Chargers to cover 6.5 at the Giants. Giants win this game outright, bringing the hit stick pick to 3-2 for the year.
That was our attempt at 3 straight Chargers hit sticks. So
Yeah.
we might have tested it a little too much there.
Went to the well too many times.
Yep, that was it. Next, in a swift kick to the Killatrav Dick risky pick of the week.
Shit it off. Shit it off.
I don't know if I've ever made those notes.
We took the Colts money line at the Rams. That was a loser, bringing the risky pick to 1-4 for the year. We need to get that one around, guys. We need to, make something happen this week. And next in the Buddy Lay Parlay.
Hooray!
Yippee!
That was the one. Yippie's the one, Alex.
I know. As soon as it was coming out, I knew I was wrong, but I had to commit.
All right, we lost. Bring the Buddy Lay Parlay at 0-5. Only one leg won, and that was the Ole Miss to cover 1.5, and I forget who that was.
Oh, it was Nemi. It was Nemi.
The good thing about going 1-5 in a parlay is you only lose whatever one unit that you bet, not all 5. So
That's
There's
true.
some positives in going 1-5 in a parlay as opposed
like
to
the
4-5,
positives.
something like that. So, but let's get one this week. Let's get one.
Yeah, let's get one. And next in Jim's Super Dog.
Super duper.
Okay, moving on. He lost.
Hey, right there, Alex.
That was a little skewed. The quarterback got ruled out after the show. I probably would have helped Jim a different way if Miracle was playing. Just saying. But
So yeah, if anybody didn't know, Jim took the View money line hosting Utah. Alex and I saw this debacle. Well, Alex saw some of this debacle. I saw the majority of it. Nemi, did you hear about Alex's tailgate journey on Saturday?
no,
Well, he has to
actually.
go. He has to go listen to the episode if he wants to hear it.
Well,
When
Nemi,
is it-
just so
when
you
it-
know, I'll give you the highlights. Alex left tailgate 1, where he was with me and Baltimore Guru Keith and some others, to go to tailgate 2. And at tailgate 2, Alex had such a good time that he did not make it into the stadium until most of the way through the second quarter. I brought Alex a beer when I returned to my seat, and Alex did not need another beer. And Alex went into heckle Utah fans, which at that time Utah was winning by a decided amount. So, I was babysitting Alex, and then when I went to go meet Alex, because he went to the bathroom to say, hey, let's go find some other people that we know, because all of your friends just left you while you were in the bathroom. Alex said, never saw me, but called me as he was walking out of the stadium and said, hey, I'm going back to that tailgate. Let me know when you leave. So Alex
Did you actually go back to the tailgate?
Yeah,
Or-
the problem was that the game was so bad that those people had already basically made it back to Wheeling. So I just walked back to the truck and started packing up. We did decide that when Theon and Colorado come to town, I will not be overindulging because I don't know that I can be controlled in my heckling
Oh, I
of
disagree.
Theon if I don't make better choices.
What weekend is that?
Next weekend?
No.
No, it's like November 9th or something.
Yeah, it's the last home game.
Yeah. Okay.
That'll be fun.
We'll see. Jim may be joining.
Really considering it.
All right, in our Survivor Series picks, Alex and Nemi are the only two left. Gentlemen, how did your bets go? Or not your bets, but your picks.
We're still the only two left.
There's
I
still
took
2
the
left.
Bills. I took the Bills in 1.
I took the Texans, ended up working out. I had another one that I do in a pool for money too, and I had the Packers, and I lost via a tie, which sucks. So anyway, for the show, I had the Texans in that one, and we're going to keep on rolling along.
All right, we will keep on rolling along. Right into the road to 272 bets. Alex and I have made it through week 4, and we are still kicking.
Sorry, I tried to bet baseball. This is a betting show, so I can say this. And I need Giancarlo Stanton to get a hit, and he just struck out.
Ooh.
It's
I don't
unfortunate.
really watch baseball. I just had a promotion. Sorry.
Oh,
I got
Alex is still on a heater in the road to 272. So, Alex, give us your, not every bet, obviously, but your win-loss and your units up for the week and units up for the season.
Yeah. So this past week, I actually, after the afternoon slate, I shouldn't say afternoon slate, after the 1 p.m. games, I was 8-1. And I was like, this is too good to be true. And it surely was. But I did still maintain and go 10-6, which was a solid winning day. That put me up 3.67 units for the week. So that brings my overall in the road to 272 at 19, 12-1 with a plus 7.802 units.
It's pretty good.
It is. Alex is rocking it in the road to 272. I did not have as good of a week as I had. I had recovered from a almost 6.5 unit down week 1 to get up. And this week brought me right back down. I was 7-9 for the week, down 2.9 units, which brings my overall record to 33-31. And I'm down 1.51 units for the season. But alas, we move on because we have more games to bet, Alex.
Yup.
We do. And that leads us right into this week's NFL slate. Starting with Thursday Night Football, as the 49ers travel to take on the Rams, where the Rams are favored by 5.5 over under 46.5. Anyone want to dip their toe into Thursday Night Football this week?
I'll go ahead, Alex.
No, I do. I like the Rams minus 5.5 here a lot. I did fine doing the Thursday night game last week, so I don't really feel that Thursday night juju. There's a strong possibility when I announce my best bets that the Rams minus 5.5 will be one of them.
Ooh, Alex. Bucking the trend 2 weeks in a row.
A lot of 49ers injuries to monitor. I know Purdy's hurt. Jennings is hurt. Pearsall's hurt. So if all three of those guys are out, that line's probably going to move to like 7.5. So you'd have a good line.
I do have it locked in at
Sweet.
5.5. Because for like the road to 272, I had placed this one just for if it does move with injuries, this is what I'm locking it in at.
Yeah, that's also I'm looking at for my road to 272, but I will probably stay away from it for best bets. Jim, any thoughts?
I may ride with that for the best bets. I need some NFL games.
All right, there we go. Moving into some Sunday football, another morning game. We have a game in London town. As the Vikings, served by 3.5, take on the Browns, 35.5, very low point total. Nemi, how you feeling about your Browns coming into the week?
Well, I heard that we're knocking off another quarterback off the list, and I believe Dylan Gabriel is starting that game. His first ever career NFL start is going to be in London, per sources. I think that helps just give a little bit of like a spark or something new, because Flacco's just kind of – he's not really turning the ball over, but he's just sitting back there and not doing very much at all. Browns lost their second receiver. So, yeah, offense probably won't be much better. This seems like a game that they give the ball to Judkins like 22 times and hope that he runs for 130 and they sneak out a win. I forget who the Vikings played last week, but someone tore – Gainwell, right? Steelers. Get back up, running back for the Steelers, tore them up. So I feel like Judkins can have a day. But probably nothing for the best bets for me. But Browns are live.
Yeah, I'm leaning the Vikings 3.5. This was before I even knew about Dylan Gabriel news. I think that leads me even more down that track. Not because I don't think he can play well, but I just first start overseas. I think there's a lot going against him in this game. So I'll probably be going with the Vikings to cover.
Yeah, I lean that way as well, Muff.
All right, Jim.
I'm going to stay away from it.
All right, next we have the Jets hosting the Cowboys. Cowboys favored by 2.5, over under 47.5. Oof.
Yuck.
Yuck City in this one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not even excited to watch it.
The under if I had to.
Ooh, I am actually going to be leaning the over for my 272. The Cowboys just gave up 40. Their offense is starting to click. I see some points getting put up in this game, so I'm going to lean the over.
I actually am leaning the over as well. I think the Jets have a really good running game and have the ability to score. And just watching the Cowboys compete and put 40 points up in the offense, I think they can. I think where the Cowboys got in this game is that the Jets have a good offense and the Cowboys don't really seem to stop a whole lot. So
Cowboys have given up an average of 33 points a game, and they haven't really played the best of. I mean, I guess they played Dallas, or they played Philly, and they played Green Bay, but they also played the Giants. And Russell Wilson threw for 450 on them. So I don't know. Could be one of those games where it's just one of those weird NFL games that ends up being low scoring. But it seems like points are to be had.
Jim, do you have any different thoughts, or are you going to stick with that? It's a lean for you, so.
I'm like I said, just a leaner.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have the Panthers hosting the Dolphins. Panthers favored by 1.5, over under 44.5. We all know about the catastrophic injury that Tyreek Hill has suffered to this point. But the Dolphins offensively seem to be playing just as well, if not slightly better, after that injury. Offensively, at least.
Yeah, I can't. Do you think the Darren Waller stuff is like here to stay, or that was like a one-off thing when him?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have those types of performances consistently. But
He's always been a solid player. It's just,
right.
They're gonna need. Did you see his comment? He's like, I felt like I was on drugs, like almost like I had no idea I was gonna do that my first game back, and he was like shocked on it. So
Yeah, I mean,
they need someone to step up, especially offensively. So
yeah, I mean, they got Waddle there, so I mean, they have some other options. For that reason, I'm actually going to go with the Dolphins money line in the road to 272.
I
Panthers suck. So
just feel like the Dolphins have sucked just enough that I think I'm going to probably lean the other way.
All right, Jim.
If I had to, I'm with Alex.
All right. Next, the Eagles hosting the Broncos. Eagles favored by 4.5. 43.5 is the point line. Jim, what are you thinking here?
I like the Eagles here. That's maybe on my card. I'm strongly looking at the Eagles.
All right, Alex.
I like the over here.
I am also with that thought on the over, even if the Eagles get 35 of those points by themselves. Emmy?
yeah, no, one of the best games of the week on the slate for sure. Don't really have a strong lean either way. Eagles have had a couple tough games in a row. Broncos just had a cakewalk for Cincy. So yeah,
Yep.
no lean.
All right, next, Texans at the Ravens. Ravens favored by 1.5. Over under 40.5. Is that a current line after Lamar Jackson news?
Yes, that is the. Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that. That was updated right before, but let me double check and see.
I think I checked. It was.
Okay, so I mean that the sports books had already kind of assumed that was going to be the case. I saw when this was a line, I expected that was what was going on.
Nope, that line has changed. The Ravens are now plus 1.5.
Oof. Well, I've already locked in for the road to 272. I leave it up to the group if you want to change this line for best bets.
I mean, I think technically no one's made a best bet yet, so
I'll certainly change the line for best bets. I'm leaning the Ravens.
As am I already.
When I thought that it was the Ravens minus 1.5, I still had them, even with Lamar Jackson news, at Ravens money line here.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to be looking at the Ravens plus the points, potentially in the best bet category. Jim?
The reason for that is the Texans' offensive line is absolute garbage. The Ravens' defense has not been good to this date, but they've also played a hell of a schedule. And I just don't think the Texans are going to be able to do much. Seems like one of those games where the Texans turn the ball over like 3 times. The Ravens use Derrick Henry a lot, 25 carries for Henry. Huntley gets the job done. He has in NFL before, just kind of taking care of the ball, running for first downs. I just hate jumping at injury overreactions, and I think the Ravens are a good team without Lamar. So, yeah, and I think the Texans are terrible.
You're supposed to be Jim's emotional support human.
Sorry, Jim.
No, I think it's a good take. I mean, that's the way I would have. The Texans are not great right now.
How about this? What's the line with Lamar Jackson? What do you think?
Like 5.5, maybe up to 6.
So you think, Lamar's worth almost a touchdown, basically?
I mean, for them, I think he is, especially given what the rest of the team has done around him this year.
Yeah.
I think he's definitely worth a touchdown in my mind.
All
right. Next, we have the Giants traveling to New Orleans, take on the Saints. The Saints say favored by 1.5, over under 41.5. Giants coming off a win in
The Saints are
Jackson Dart's first start.
And the Saints are poop.
Yeah, I like the Giants money line here.
Yeah, I also like the Giants money line for the road to 272. Giants plus the points as a possible best bet.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
The quarterback, like when in the NFL, we'll call it a backup quarterback, the first time that they play, they usually play well against the spread. And then the second game usually comes back down to earth. You get tape on them and everything. So, but I just think the Giants are rallying around Scattaboo and what's his name? The quarterback?
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart. I feel like they're rallying around them. So I I said stay away from me for sure. I have no idea what's gonna happen with this game.
All right, next we have the Colts hosting the Raiders. Colts favored by 6.5, over under 47.5.
I'm taking the Colts.
I lean that way as well.
Yeah, that's where I would lean.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's something about this game. The Colts, I'm not gonna say they were frauds, but they definitely played some softer competition when they started 3-0. And I think I'm gonna stay away for a week until I see what this looks like. Not that the Raiders are any world beaters, but I want to see the Colts put more than just a few games against bad opponents together.
It's a fair take. Yep. They they played well last week they played the Rams, right? They played well. It seems like a line that could be higher, like in the 8.5 range. That kind of scares me, so I'm staying away as well.
All right, next we have the Cardinals minus 8.5 hosting the Titans, over under 41.5. What are we, T minus 6-ish weeks until Call of Duty?
Yeah. 8.5 is
So-
still high for me.
Yeah, it's a high line for the Cardinals, right?
Right.
That's I agree with that. I don't think I'm gonna mess with this in a best bet situation. But as far as the road to 272, I'm actually gonna be looking at the Titans plus the points.
Look at the under here. I don't think either of these offenses are very good. I think this may be a very low scoring affair.
Next, Lions favored by 10.5 going to Cincinnati. 48.5 is the point line. Nemi?
It's really hard to bet Bengals games right now after what they've shown with Browning. Looks like when Burrow first went down, they literally said they're going to Browning. They're confident in it. They don't need to sign anybody, and he's looked terrible. Mind you, they played the Broncos last week, decent team. I'm gonna have to stay away until either they get rid of Browning or he flips it one game because it just looks really bad right now. It'd be Lions or nothing for me right now.
Yeah, I'm injecting the Lions right now. You can lock that in as a best bet. You can lock that in as the road to 272.
Yeah, I like the Lions here.
Jim?
At 10.5. I don't know why, but tonight I'm like super conservative.
We're gun shy.
I am gun shy tonight.
Woo.
I don't know.
Jim doesn't know. All right, next we have the Bucks at the Seahawks. Seahawks favored by 3, over under 44.5. Whew, this is, to me, it was one of the most difficult games to think through.
I completely agree.
I tangled with the road to 272. This was the one I spent the most time considering. With that being the case, for the road to 272, I'll just take the Seahawks to cover at home, even though the 12th man has not been a huge deal for them over the past year or two. I'm just going to say they get it right and the Seahawks cover.
Yeah, the Bucks have won by 3, 1, 2, and then they just lost by 6, the Eagles, but they were down big and came all the way back. They always kind of battle. Baker kind of keeps them in games. I don't know how many close games can they continue to win. They're kind of banged up. They're saying Bucky Irving might be out now for a little bit. Evans is still out. Godwin's still getting back. Offensive line, injuries. I think that, and the Seahawks seem like the fresher team, so I'd probably lean that way.
Yeah. Jim?
I'm staying away.
All
I'm
right,
not
Chargers.
72 bullshit. So
Chargers favored by 2.5 hosting the Commanders.
bum, 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 bum.
48.5 is the point line. Ugh.
This is another tough one, honestly.
Well,
Any reasons, Alex?
I
Statement?
guess the Chargers. I'm having recency bias. I think.
Yeah,
So,
I got Brian.
if you'd asked me this question last week, I'd been like, Commanders with injuries, Chargers all day. I don't know. I'm a little nervous after last week. I'd probably take the under here.
Okay. Yeah, for road to 272, I'm looking at the Chargers to cover.
Jane Daniels supposed
maybe
to be
even money
back.
line.
What was
Shane
that?
Daniels supposed to be quarterbacking or no? Is he back?
I haven't heard. I
That
was
line tells me he is, but maybe I just don't know ball. But if that's the line and Mariota's playing quarterback for the Commanders and it's at Chargers, I would be taking the Chargers.
So, yeah, maybe a little too early to tell for all of this, but the line does seem to indicate that. Jim?
I'm with Alex. I don't know what to do with that one because they burned us. I want the Chargers. I would love to take the Chargers, but I don't know.
All right, the Bills are by 8.5 hosting the Patriots over under 50.5. Jim?
This is going to be one of the super dog flirts. I like the Patriots here. I lean towards them.
I'm looking at the Patriots plus the points for the road to 272. Will not be looking at it for best bet, though.
I like the Bills to cover.
Okay. And in Monday Night Football, we have the Chiefs favored by 3 going to Duval over under 46.5. Give me them Chiefs. Give me them Chiefs. Give me them Chiefs to cover.
I don't think that's a bad pick.
Do you have anything you want to offer as to why, or you just want to state things and then move on?
Why are you pressing me so hard? Did we lose Nemi?
No, he was just laughing at you whenever you didn't bring any support. So he didn't want to be a bad emotional support human and laugh at you too loudly. But I saw him.
The Giants aren't that great, and the Chiefs, why not on Monday night? Taylor Swift in the audience, probably.
Jim, did I not just say the Chiefs to cover? Because I did.
I said it wasn't a bad pick. Did you not hear me?
It sounded like you said that's a bad pick.
I heard that's a bad pick.
I apologize. I said that's not a bad pick.
Oh, we all heard that's a bad pick.
That's my fault then.
No, it's okay. That just makes it more understandable because I'm like, does he know something we don't? I don't.
No. Back to your Commanders game though. It looks like Scary Terry, John Bates, Noah Brown are all trending to play, and Jaden Daniels is also, if he works out the next couple days, could also be playing.
That changes some things then for sure in that game.
That's already locked in. Can't do anything about it for me.
Fair.
That's good news. That's good news for the best bet territory.
I don't have a lean on Chiefs Jags either. Muff, I'm not going to make fun of your pick. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to probably let that one go. Maybe the under. I don't know. That's Monday night Chiefs. Hard to do.
All right. So we're done breaking down the NFL slate. Let's get now into college foosball. First in Friday night, late night football, Alex.
Yes. I'm going to have to really work to stay awake.
We have WVU traveling to Utah to take on BYU. See if they can soak their way to a win in a back-to-back against Utah teams. BYU favored by 18.5 over under 47.5.
Give me WVU plus the points.
That's high. I have stuck to my guns. I don't bet my teams, but
I watched BYU's last game. I wasn't impressed, and
even as bad as WVU looked, I still think that's a high line from BYU. Utah is a better team than BYU.
I'm sorry. BYU was not that great. You've always said that any WVU game played not on Saturday tends to lean towards WVU. Yeah. I'm taking it.
Alex, I really want to know. That's a good point, Jim. And Alex does say this. But Alex, is this some bias towards WVU's great years whenever they did play well on Thursdays?
That's what I am thinking of probably whenever but I will say there was a year, was it 3 years ago when we played Pitt and we really weren't supposed to be that close and we ended up giving them a hell of a game. I feel like generally we show up for those, we get ourselves up for those games and this is late for us, but it'll be a normal evening game for them.
I just don't. BYU is not good.
This line's all about that quarterback, the backup. If West Virginia's quarterback was in, the line would probably be like 12.5 or something like that. So they're just baking it all in with the quarterback situation, in my opinion. Look at their team total. They're 47.5 minus 18.5. That's what's that team? Their team total is like 14 or something. Like it's pretty much saying they're not going to score any points. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at 28, not 28-10. You're looking at 31 to 13 ish.
yeah,
34 to 34 would be the BYU line.
I would think West Virginia would score over 2 touchdowns, but
Yeah.
I hope.
Yes, Alex does hope in late night Friday football. Moving into Saturday college football. First, Pitt favored by 6.5, hosting Boston College over under 58.5. Jim, is Boston College
stay
getting
away
any
from
love
this
for you?
bullshit. No. No.
Was firm.
Jim says no, and Jim's probably the only one that was looking at this game even to consider. That was the only reason I put it in.
Get out of here.
Clemson
I was actually thinking about Boston College, but I've seen the lines move from 3.5 to 6.5, so I'm gonna have to figure out why that is before I would ever put them as a best bet. So,
All right. Clemson and Sad Dabo favored by 13.5, traveling to Chapel Hill to take on the Jordans and Bill Belichick over under 46.5.
Sad Dabo gets right on this one.
I know. I was very tempted to immediately jump on UNC, and I was like, "This feels like a trap."
Yeah, Sad Dabo gets right on this one.
This feels like a
Yeah, I was
lean
thinking that's definitely it would be the lean for me. Probably not going to mess with it, but
They're off a bye, right?
Yep.
They're off a bye. I just don't know if do they think their season's over, or do they rally up and try to win out, or
I mean,
like
that's
1 and
another
3 is
reason.
pretty fucking bad. So
I mean, if they lost to UNC, holy shit, they better call for Dabo's head.
yeah.
I
Tough
mean,
spot,
they're still
by the way.
potentially alive in the ACC race, so I mean, I guess they're still playing for that.
That's
Yeah,
what
I guess
mean.
there's no besides Miami, so they're pretty. Basically, Miami's locked into the ACC championship, but that second team is kind of, there to see who can take that. So I guess they're still alive for that. But
Florida State isn't in your consideration there.
they just lost to Virginia, or was that not? Yeah, they just lost.
No,
to
they
Virginia.
did.
So I'm just saying, yeah, they're in there, but everyone's got a loss basically. So
Yeah. All right, Georgia favored by 20.5, hosting Kentucky over under 48.5. This feels like a Kirby Smart bounce back game to me.
I would hate to be Kentucky right now.
Yeah, the cars are parked for the week. Georgia's getting no speeding tickets, and those boys are going to be ready to go.
No, that's physically possible for the Georgia team, but I see what you're saying.
To what? Lock away the
To
cars?
not get speeding tickets.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from the best bet, but that's a hard lean if I was looking to add to the card. Next, Baylor favored by 6.5 against Kansas State over under 61.5.
Ugh. I like Baylor here. My card's pretty full.
Nenny?
I think I'm gonna go on the opposite side. I think Kansas State figured some stuff out. They looked really good last week. I'm just not sold on Baylor. That they're fine. They can score points, but their defense is kind of suspect. And they're giving 6.5. Preseason, this game is like Kansas State minus 2.5, I think. But
Yep.
I think Kansas State figured some stuff out on the bye. Their star running back was back last week and running hard. Dylan Edwards, his name is, I believe, or something like that. I think Kansas State is live dog, and they cover.
Ooh, all right, Alex, Big 12.
I'm not going to argue with you. I still would lean Baylor here, but not strong enough to make it a best bet, so I'm not going to talk you out of it.
All right, next we have Michigan favored by 16.5, hosting Wisconsin over under 42.5.
Everything in me, and I know this is the homer, everything in me wants to take Wisconsin plus the points. Like everything. But the logic in me says probably not.
How does Luke Fickell still have a job?
Fickleball, man. Fickleball.
They could easily get blown out of the water here, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, I don't want any part of this. But I will be interested to see how the storyline plays out throughout the game. 100%. Cincinnati favored by 1.5, hosting Iowa State over under 53.5. Alex, one of the teams of the Big 12 as a road dog.
I am a big Iowa State fan in this game. I think Iowa State's played pretty well all year, and I think that they're going to be a best bet for me, plus 1.5. I would put them up as a possible cliff kick to the killer trap dip.
Oh, God. I think we're on opposites again now. It's not good.
Yeah.
I think Iowa State has to lose eventually. They've been kind of they just had a real good win against Arizona. I just think they kind of have a little bit of they got a tough road game here. Per PFF, not a big PFF stats guy, but since I saw the Cincinnati quarterback's like the best PFF quarterback for ratings. So Sorsby has been playing really well. Cincinnati will be rocking for this one. I think they get it done.
Okay, we'll see what happens for the Big 12 picture after this one. Illinois favored by 9.5, traveling to Purdue over under 57.5. Jim, is this a noon kick?
I'm taking this one. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm taking this one. Purdue sucks.
The game time was a big deal.
That is true. I guess if it is a night game, I better be.
It's not night. I can tell you it's not a night game. I just don't know if it's a 12 or a 3:30.
If it's not at nighttime, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Not messing up his dinner bell.
So Jim's
You're
all
taking
over this
Illinois?
one.
Oh, I'm taking Illinois.
I like Illinois in this as well.
I'm going to stay away for sure. Oh, I saw Illinois play like shit. I saw them play pretty well. I don't know what Illinois is at this point. And Purdue, I don't watch a ton of it. Again, first-year coach. Seems like they're playing a little bit better than they were under the last coach regime. I'm going to stay away, but definitely a data point I'm looking for.
Yeah, lean towards Illinois. No best bet, but I don't disagree with anything about the Illinois support here. Arizona favored by 19.5, hosting Oklahoma State over under 55.5. Solely on here just to see if Jim is going to stick to the take that Arizona is a terrible, terrible team.
Arizona is a terrible team, but without a coach at Oklahoma State, I'm staying away.
I had the same thought. Where will Jim go on this?
All right, fair enough.
Oklahoma
That was really what I
State-
was curious. Go ahead, Nemi.
Oklahoma State did cover last week against Baylor without their coach. Mind you, they were kind of close for a while, and then Baylor pulled away. But it seemed like they reacted pretty well to losing their coach. You can go one way or the other. You could tank all your players coming out of the portal, or you can play hard. Seemed like they kind of competed a little bit, but yeah, to Jim's point, that team sucks really bad.
All right, next, Penn State favored by 25.5, traveling across the country to take on UCLA over under 50.5. Give me Penn State to cover.
Give me UCLA plus the points.
Damn. I'm leaning Penn State to cover too. I think Penn State comes out and they want to make a statement, and they have to cover eventually.
Traveling across the country, 0-4 against the spread. Give me.
Jim, don't buy into the 0-4 against the spread because we all know how this works in the betting world.
Give me UCLA plus the points.
I don't think you want to be a Bruin this week. They have to open up. They have to open up that playbook ASAP. If they open it up last week a little bit and like the last couple drives of the game, and Aller did throw that terrible pick or whatever, but like they need to open the playbook up, and UCLA is not very good. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a 38-7 or something like that.
And that's why they play the game, gents. That's why they play the game. Bama favored by 10.5, hosting Vandy over under 56.5. Diego is a dog, Nemi.
Give me the over.
I like that. Yep. This is one of the games I'm looking forward to most to watching for sure. What time is this at? Is this at 3:30?
I think it's a 3:30 kick, yeah.
I have a noon like golf outing thing, but I would love to watch this game. Diego's a dog, yes. Bama, do they continue on rolling? Did they figure something out? Or are they off the Georgia game in a tough spot? But they are at home. I agree with Jim though. Points is the way I would lean here.
Alex, any thoughts?
No, I think that's a decent representation.
All right, Florida hosting Texas. Texas favored by 6.5. Over under 42.5.
I want to see Florida win this one. I hate Texas, but as an Ohio State fan, we can't afford Texas to lose.
I was just gonna say that doesn't help you at all.
So I'm going to stay away for that purpose.
Jim is conflicted.
Yes.
Jim
What?
is conflicted.
Why would the Texas thing kind of? I mean, we control our own destiny anyway, right?
Yeah, but we
Basically.
want anybody that we beat to now win out. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get
I'm
it.
staying away from that for all of those reasons. I just don't. Yeah, I mean, I say it all the time, and it has not transpired for like the past year or two. But Florida in the swamp. That's all I got to say.
42.5 is a low over under. I'll tell you that. That's either gonna be one of those games that go over that doesn't make sense, or it's gonna be disgustingly hard to watch when
Yeah,
it's 2 hours.
Florida's a pretty good defensive team. So if
Yeah.
they can contain for the first half, I think this does become one of those like slugfests, low scoring, right? Whoever's losing is within 7 to 10 points at the end.
Yep.
Next, we got Louisville, favored by 7.5, hosting Virginia, over under 62.5. Virginia hangover.
Virginia.
I know I almost jumped on Virginia, and then I was like, oof.
I haven't seen enough Louisville games, which is odd. Because I'm like, that should be one of those weird games you catch on the YouTube TV of the group of 4 you see when you have the quad, but I've not seen them on play enough.
Yeah, I mean, my only frame of reference is watching the Virginia game last week, but I think that was a bit of an outlier for Virginia for the season. I do think there are going to be lots of points scored, but that 62.5 is just a bit high for me.
Let me tell you how stupid YouTube TV is. I've seen more Virginia games than Louisville games. And proximity-wise, you would think that would not be the case.
That would make sense, but YouTube got that algorithm, Jim.
It's very weird.
Yeah. Next, we have Texas Tech favored by 11.5, coming off a bye, traveling to Houston. Houston favored by 50.5. Boys, Texas Tech.
Houston's not a bad team. 11.5 is high for me.
On the road too.
Give me Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. Yeah, I think Muff might have said it, but Texas Tech's off a bye. Who do they have on deck? That's what I want to see. Kansas on deck at home, so nothing wrong with the spot. Houston had a rough time with Oregon State last week. I'm with kind of what Jim was saying about Louisville. I don't really watch much Houston games, but Tech's got to have more talent. It's just a matter if they show up or not.
All right, I'll do it.
Which one? Which side?
Give me Texas Tech.
All right. Jim was talked into it. Colorado at TCU. TCU favored by 13.5, over under 58.5. Alex, will you continue?
No, I've gotten bucked too much. I'm done. It's all fun and games until you're just losing money to lose money.
You know what? I don't blame you, and I'm not even going to goat you into it. I feel like you've taken enough to the chin in your fandom of hating them that I'm going to let you slide on that one.
Thank you.
It's not hating them, Jim. It is very specifically hating Deion Sanders.
Yeah. Plus, 13.5 TCU. I get it. You don't have a lot of faith in TCU as a Big 10 fan or Big 12 fan. I get it.
All right. Next, we have Miami, Florida, favored by 4.5, traveling to Florida State, over under 54.5, in one of the marquee matchups of the college football week.
I would lean Miami here.
I would, but I'm staying away because I just want to watch the game at night and
Agreed.
chill.
Yeah, that's where I am with this. Nemi?
4.5 is one of the, again, look to Alex's point, I think I'd lean Miami. That 4.5 number is kind of risky to lean the favorite. I think I'd probably move it or take money line or something. So nothing for a best bet. But yeah, definitely good viewing going on with that.
As Midwest fans, and I don't care if you're WVU, Ohio State, Penn State, ultimately, I know we bet. Do we really give a rat's ass who wins or loses this game.
Mhm.
Um,
Do we have like this secret, like we still hate all those teams?
I'm not gonna say I hate those teams. I like it when Miami is good. Like I
It
think
is
it's good for
fun.
college football.
Yes.
So for that reason,
Are you ever rooting for Miami?
yes, I actually do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do root for Miami, not just to be good for college football, but I do like when that program is good. I like to root for them.
Okay.
I
Nemi?
would more root for them in the sense that Muff started with, like, I think when they're good, it's fun for college football.
Nemi?
I have a. All right, sports gambling aside, I do have a Miami to win it all ticket, but
That's
I took it
actually
before.
sports gambling in the
I was like, I
forefront.
don't know that it's a side angle that's directly related.
This is a betting show. So, I would say I do not care much about either of these teams now. So I'm with Jim. Kind of Miami and Ohio State used to feud back in the day and stuff. And
So it's an
Yeah.
Ohio thing.
yeah, and they were the kind of thuggy back in the day,
Right.
little
Okay.
some dirty players. So like I don't sit there and root for Miami, and Florida State I kind of just felt really bad for last year. So I wouldn't say I'm rooting for them to be better this year, but they already are better. So I don't
And
care
you're
about
not really
them.
old enough for the Bowden years. where,
No,
like, I hate Bobby Bowden.
that's fair. But no, I'm not old enough to
Right.
care about
All right.
that.
So maybe it's just me. That's fine.
All right, Texas A&M favored by 14.5, hosting Mississippi State. 55.5 is the point line. That seems a high spread,
Yeah.
but Texas A&M has also given us nothing to doubt the fact that they are a
Also
team that's
true.
going to win.
Also
Mississippi
true.
State has been in games which many have thought they wouldn't be in. So is this just the time for the natural fall off of Mississippi State as they get into the SEC schedule?
No, I'm going with Mississippi State plus the points here. I think
Lock
they
in-
could
lock
lose
in?
by 10, but I don't think they lose by over 2 touchdowns.
That's fair. Emmy, Jim,
think
any
I'd lean-
thoughts?
I think I'd lean that way. I was just looking at A&M. They've not really, so they covered. Yeah, they covered again. They did not cover against Auburn. They did not cover against Utah State. They covered against Notre Dame, and they covered against. They did not cover against UTSA. So A&M's only 1-3 against the spread, and this line is still that high. That kind of scares me. To Muff's point, could Mississippi State just be an ingredient of what they've played so far potentially? I'm going to stay away. Maybe I'll root for points. Take the over. We'll see.
There we go. Root for fun. Ohio State favored by 23.5, hosting Minnesota. Row the boat, maybe slightly upstream, a lot upstream this week, over under 44.5. Ohio State
Go ahead,
fans?
Jim, go ahead.
I would take the over.
Nemi?
Yep, I was on an over last week with Minnesota Rutgers. Ohio State just played a low scoring game against Washington because they had to in the environment they were in, on the road, hostile environment. First time Sayan was on the road. So I think they had a very conservative game plan, and they knew they could beat them in the trenches, which is what they did. This week, I think they air it out. They get guys involved, and Minnesota doesn't really have a defense, and they can kind of throw it around a little bit. Over 44.5 is going to be on my place. Yes.
All right. If I were to lean anywhere, I'd lean Ohio State to cover. Just the defense alone, I think is, while Minnesota was in that game with Rutgers, these are two different teams, two different defensive teams that Minnesota's playing against. So I would lean to Ohio State to cover here. Alex?
I'd probably lean the other way. I'd lean Minnesota to row the boat, but that would just probably be a spite pick at this point. So I'm going to stay away.
All right. Duke favored by 3.5, traveling to Cal. 55.5 is the point line. Cal, a little bit of a bounce back last week. I'm not going to say that they proved anything, but they did bounce back and get a win.
Muff, let's take our boys, our Cowboys. Let's get back on it.
I thought about it, Nemi. I really did. I had it sitting there, and I think it's going to stay off. I think I took it off, and it's going to stay off. I wanted to. I got bit. I got bit at the wrong time by Cal, and I'm a little gun shy right now.
Yeah, I think I think they're a different team at home. Duke going across the country. Duke's lost 2 games in a row. Then they kind of bounced back, played some bad teams, Syracuse, stuff like that, where they could easily score. I think I just don't think Duke's that good to then go on the road and win at Cal against a quarterback that we all agree is pretty good. So I'll take Cal as a dog. I believe in this spot.
All right. We've broken down the NFL. We've broken down college football. Now it is time for us to get into our best bets. We start this week with the man from last week, Nemi.
All right. So let's see. Starting in the NFL, I already kind of discussed some of them. I'm going to take the Ravens plus the 1.5. Kind of already broke that one down. I'm going to take this is a weird one, but the over in the Cardinals-Titans game. Not really any stats behind that. I just feel like it could be one of those games where they kind of just one of those games you're watching. You're like, oh wow, how'd they get so many points? I think the Titans have to open up their offense too. Cam Ward's been terrible, and opening up the offense could mean more interceptions, more points, more short fields. I just think that game's gonna be in the 20s, both teams. Into college, I'm going to go with Cincinnati minus 1.5 against Iowa State. I think they get it done at home and in front of a pretty packed crowd. The over in the Minnesota game, Ohio State game, 44.5, as we just discussed. Like Kansas State plus the 6.5 at Baylor. I think we're trying to play well. And then I'm going to, as I was trying to talk Muff into, I'm going to take Cal plus 3.5 at home against Duke. So that's 6 games this week we got.
All right. Next, we go to Jim.
WVU plus 17.5 at BYU. Illinois minus 9.5 at Purdue. Vandy Bama over 56.5. Texas Tech minus 11.5 at Houston. UCLA plus 25.5 against Penn State. That's my college picks. In the NFL, Lions minus 10.5 at the Bengals. Colts minus 6.5 against the Raiders. Eagles minus 4.5 with the Broncos.
All right. My slate is going to look like this. We're going to have 7 games this week. I have Penn State covering 25.5 at UCLA. Texas Tech covering 11.5 at Houston. In the NFL, I have the Rams to cover 5.5 against the 49ers. Cowboys Jets over 46.5. Giants plus the points 1.5, traveling to Nolans. Lions to cover 10.5, going on the road against the Bungles. And the Chiefs to cover 3 in Monday Night Football against the Jags, traveling to Duval. Alex looking to turn it around with this slate for the week.
I will start Thursday Night Football again with the Rams minus 5.5 versus the 49ers. College slate at Iowa State plus 1.5 at Cincinnati, Illinois minus 9.5 at Purdue, Penn State minus 25.5 at UCLA, and Mississippi State plus 14.5 at Texas A&M. And I will only pick one Sunday NFL game and take the Giants plus 1.5 at the Saints.
Okie dokie. It's
I just point of clarification.
yes, Jim.
One NFL game.
2.
2
Oh, my
Thursday
fault.
night.
My fault. Okay, thank you. I apologize.
Yeah.
The Thursday game. I missed it.
What were
Who's
you gonna-
counting?
Well,
Who's counting?
Jim's counting because I was giving him shit about not wanting to take NFL games.
But
But that's always because Jim's like, I don't want to take an NFL game. And Alex took 2 NFL games. So I don't think there's an issue here.
All right. I thought there was one, and I wanted fairness.
Well, no, Jim, you literally have said, I don't want to take one. Alex had
I have.
one.
I have.
Alex had one, even if you didn't see the second one.
So if I only take one, is that all right?
That was always the statement. You were always like, I don't even want to take this one.
All right. Just one
That's the
take one.
difference. Is Alex had one on the slate. We didn't have to talk Alex into taking one.
All right.
Fair?
Fair.
All right. Let's get into the Mike All-Star Hit Stick Pick of the Week.
Pow, 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 pow.
Oof. We don't have a lot of commonalities this week, guys.
Hold on. There was something that
Illinois is out there, and I think the Lions.
Illinois Lions, Texas
Yeah.
Tech has some commonality.
yeah.
Yes, to the Lions also having something there.
The 49ers, I wouldn't necessarily back away from. The 49ers Rams.
It's one of my best bets is the Rams. But I don't mind the Lions.
Yeah, I think I'm fine with that.
There we go.
Yeah. Mike Allstott hit stick pick of the week is the Lions to cover 10.5 traveling to Cincinnati. In the swift kick to the kill Trav Dick risky pick of the week.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
So this is just an underdog that we take, right?
Yeah, we have the Giants and the Ravens now.
I mean, I would say the Ravens are a better known commodity even without Lamar Jackson. I like the Giants trending against a terrible team.
I do like the Giants. And we need a hit. And I think that's our best possibility of hitting.
I'm good with either of those.
Anybody want to speak out against the Giants? Is that a no? Giants money line is a dog traveling to New Orleans. All right. The Buddy Lay parlay. We'll have the Lions. We go worst to first. So Nemi, you get the nod this week.
No, worst to first. That's not how that works.
Alex gets the nod this week.
I get the nod this week. And give me Mississippi State plus 14.5 for Texas A&M.
Alex just wants to watch Brandon Walker take his shirt off again.
That would be fun.
It would be fun. I'm not going to say it won't be fun. Next is me. I'm going to go with... give me the Chiefs to cover 3, traveling to Duval. So if we make it all the way, boys, we got a Monday night game to wrap it up. Next is Jim.
Give me the Vandy at Bama over.
Nemi?
I am going to do Kansas State plus 6.5 against Baylor.
A little off the beaten path this week. Maybe this is our recipe. And last in Jim's Super Dog.
Demi?
Super Duper.
What are your thoughts? What are
Put
your
4
thoughts?
games on there. I said we could go with the Patriots beating the Bills.
Is this no longer just Jim's Super Dog?
Nope.
My
It's,
super dog, but I have a support human, so back off.
it's Jim and Jim support humans.
Are you a
Don't
support?
go
Are
against
you,
my ADA.
Nemi, are you a support dog?
He's my
Yeah.
support dog. And Musk
That's
trying to
what- yeah.
deny me my ADA accessibility.
Well,
Jim,
social support dogs do. Yeah, that's some gray area, Jim. Can't take him into the stores.
It's Jim and Jim's emotional support dogs super dog.
Exactly. So Patriots money line could be an option. Vandy money line, Virginia money line, Mississippi State.
Ooh, these are all road dogs too. I want to point that out.
I want
Yeah.
a new graphic.
You know what it should. You know what I think. I don't. What do you have a favorite?
I like the Virginia or Vandy.
Vandy would be my pick with Diego.
Jim, he's got
Dog
Diego.
of dogs.
He's got Diego in his blood. Watch out.
It's the dog of dogs.
Road dog.
I don't think it's a terrible spot. They just had Georgia last week. You know they wanted that game so bad. Now they have little old Diego and Vanderbilt. Like it is game day, so they're obviously going to be ready and prepared. But Florida State beat them, right? So never know.
Yeah, we never know. All right, and the last two items for the week. Let us go to the survivors. Alex and Nemi survive and get to pick Week 5 NFL action.
Survivor, I'm now gonna
Go ahead, Alex.
I'm gonna take the Lions to keep on surviving.
And then one of the reasons I didn't like Jim's option of the super dog was over the Patriots is because I'm taking the Bills in my survivor pick of the week.
You're playing
To
one
try
of
to
your aces
continue.
this time, huh?
What's that?
You're playing one of your aces this time.
I'm gonna play an ace. You can't pussyfoot around too much. You gotta go straight for it sometimes. So I'm gonna go for it this time.
Yeah. Jim, do you have any reservations now that you know that your emotional support dog was self-serving in two of his thoughts towards the super dog?
Not one bit.
Okay, it's a very selfish emotional support dog.
I have a lot of faith in my dog.
All right. And lastly, in the road to 272, Alex, take us through your NFL bets.
I think it should be worst to first.
We've always gone best first, just like we do with best bets, Jim.
So
that you're losing.
We have some buys in this week. So
hold on, Alex. Let me hold on here. Jim wants to point that I'm losing, but Jim has still yet to slide into taking every Big Ten game as it may have been discussed.
You told me not to.
I did not say not to. I said if you wanted to start that, you could start it this season if you wanted to get into it, or you could wait till next season.
Better to wait till next year.
I didn't say no. And when have you ever listened to me when I say, Jim, don't do that?
All the time.
That is true. That, Jim. Very rarely listen to them.
I listen.
When do you ever actually follow through with?
I was gonna. You listen to what he says and then do the opposite.
That's true.
So don't let that be the reason that you want to hang me out to dry here, Jim.
That's fair.
Would you like to commit to betting every Big Ten game next week?
Next week.
Okay. You heard it here first, Jim. Every Big Ten game next week. And for the rest of the season?
Yeah, why not?
All right. We just added a new part to the show. All right, Alex, sorry for interrupting, but we had to get that out. And guess what? We just added something new. So I think it was worth it.
It gets longer by the week. This week, we are down to 14 games with some buys. So I will go Rams -5.5 versus the 49ers. Vikings -3.5 across the pond versus the Browns. Cowboys at Jets over 47.5. Dolphins at Panthers. Panthers -1.5. Broncos at Eagles over 43.5. Ravens money line versus the Texans. Giants money line at the Saints. The Colts -6.5 versus the Raiders. The Titans at Cardinals game under 41.5. Lions -10.5 the Bengals. Seahawks -3 versus the Bucks. Chargers and Commanders under 48.5. Bills -8.5 versus the Patriots. And the Chiefs -3 at the Jags.
All right. So some of my lines were locked in early, so some of this is going to sound different, but I locked these in on Monday night / Tuesday morning for the games that didn't have lines posted when I went to bed. I'm going to take the Rams to cover 5.5, hosting the 49ers, the Vikings to cover 3.5 in London town, taking on the Browns, Cowboys Jets over 46.5, Dolphins money line at the Panthers, Broncos Eagles over 44.5, Ravens to cover 3.5, hosting the Texans, Giants money line as a dog, traveling to New Orleans to take on the Saints, Raiders Colts over 47.5, Titans +8.5, traveling to Arizona, Lions to cover. I had them at 9.5, so the 10.5 is not the line that I got on Monday night. Lions to cover 9.5 at the Bengals, Seahawks to cover 3, hosting the Bucks, Chargers to cover 2.5, hosting the Commanders, Patriots +8.5, going to Buffalo, and the Chiefs to cover 3, traveling to Duval. In the road to 272. Jim, do you have a catchy tagline for your Big Ten bets yet in your mind?
Fuck Kevin.
Is that not a...
I'm workshopping it.
That's fine. You have an option. We have options.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, that wraps up this week's episode of Sports Stuff Betting Stuff. As a reminder, follow us on the socials at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram and Twitter, Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff on Facebook, on YouTube. Subscribe, comment, rate, review, poke, like, tickle.
Get the bell on.
Ding ding.
Get that bell on. Hopefully it's a dinner bell, and it leads you all the way to cash.